Hey people, how's it going? Welcome to another video. So let's just get this out the way. So for those who are frequent viewers, what's up? You're probably looking for heavy metal content. Well, that's all well and good. If you want metal content, go look for another video. However, if you like Disney films, then stick around because that's what we're talking about today. So if you're familiar with my channel, you know that I'm a bit of a ranker. I like to talk about things in lists. I like to take things and argue about which one is better. A little while ago, like 3 years ago, maybe 2 or 3 years ago, I did a video about the Disney film Ichabod Crane, that what's it called? The Adventures of Toad, whatever, you know that one. Yeah, you know the one. I did a video about that, just talking about how much I love that film and how creepy it is for Disney, you know, because I also stated in that film, yes, I listen to heavy metal, but I also love horror films and I love Disney films too. So I was like, do you know what? Not that I'm running out of heavy metal content. I was just like, do you know what would be fun and a good chance to kind of change it up for me personally? Let's just talk about some Disney films. A little while ago, I did do a Disney tier list video, but there was a lot of it that I didn't know because I haven't seen every single Disney film ever, you know, and so that was fun, but like I say, there was a lot I just had to pass off because I didn't know what they were. So like pretty much anything after 2010 and some really weird ones thrown in the middle. So I thought, well, Disney movies are broken up into eras, right? You start off with the golden era and then you go through the silver age and then the bronze age and then like the package age and the Renaissance and then the resurgence and then the streaming. I think I probably missed the experimental era, and I can't remember which one the 50s is about. But anyway, there's eras. And I was like, well, okay, I'll tell you what. Let's just tackle eras. Okay, we're going to rank some Disney eras today. And obviously, given that this is the first one, there's going to be several of these. And so given the fact that this is the first one, we're going to be ranking the golden era of the golden age of Disney movies. Now, there's only 5 of them, and because it's the first one, it's the first 5 feature full-length Disney films. So we're gonna start with Snow White from 1937. We're then gonna tackle, which one came next? We're then gonna tackle Fantasia from 1940, and then we're gonna tackle Dumbo from 1941, and we're gonna tackle Bambi from 1942, and then we're also gonna talk about Pinocchio from 1943. I'm pretty sure those years are correct, going off memory. So yeah, we're gonna rank those guys to see which one's the bottom and which one's the top, and just get some conversation going about our childhood Disney films pretty much. Let me know down below what your favorites are. Let me know if you've seen all of them. Let me know if you haven't seen any of them. I highly recommend you see all of these ones just because they're the golden age. They're the first ones. You know, I love history of Disney and all that stuff, so this stuff to me is just awesome. But yeah, 3-minute intro is a bit long, so let's get in with number 5, my bottom ranked golden age Disney film. So coming in at the bottom for me, coming in at number 5 is a film that, yeah, isn't my favorite, obviously. It is Dumbo from 1941. This is, fun fact, this came out on, when was this released? October 23, 1941 in New York. And this is one of Disney's shortest films ever. It's literally 66 minutes long, and that cracked me up when I first saw it. The story of Dumbo follows an elephant with massively large ears who gets bullied, you know, picked on and whatnot, and then gets picked up by the circus, I think. And, you know, then his massive ears become an attraction, you know, more or less. It's been a long time since I've seen Dumbo, which might be half the reason why this is at number 5. But what I do remember from watching Dumbo is the fact that it just wasn't captivating enough. It's a bit mean when he gets separated from his mum. You know, obviously Disney films love to tug on our heartstrings more than they need to, and Dumbo definitely has a fair share of that with the whole, separation from his mum type thing. But the praise that I will give Dumbo is, obviously, the animation is beautiful. I love this era. The songs are pretty fun, you know. I done seen but everything when I see an elephant fly, I think is the lyric. That's a fun song, you know, yeah, but that's at the end of the movie. But the song that cracks me up the most is Pink Elephants. You know, that one's great. He gets drunk, I think. Is it him and the mouse that get drunk, I think? And they start to hallucinate and see pink elephants everywhere. That song is creepy and it's awesome. I think it's great fun. But yeah, other than that though, it's not my favorite film of all time. So I haven't watched it in years. I'm probably not going to watch it again. I'm not going to force my son to watch Dumbo, but if he wants to, I'll happily watch it with him. And I didn't actually I got halfway through the remake that they did, and I was like, nah, not my scene, so I stopped watching it. But yeah, that's number 5 for me, Dumbo from 1941. Forgive me, sorry. I said Pinocchio was 1943. It's actually 1940. Fake fan, I can't believe I said that. But yeah, number 4 for me is Pinocchio. Again, I did not grow up watching Pinocchio. We never had it on video as children, and we certainly didn't re-buy it when DVDs started to come out. So again, I don't have the utmost memorized plot of Pinocchio. But there was a time when I do have faint memories of watching Pinocchio, and then we did watch it later, probably like 10 years ago now, but we did watch it again at one point. I do remember thinking, this is okay. I don't hate it, but I don't love it either. This one came out on February 7th, 1940, and it runs for a total of 88 minutes. So it's normal Disney, it's normal film length. And this is obviously Pinocchio. It's the story about a guy who builds a puppet who then is wished to become a real boy and whatnot. But what makes Pinocchio so weird and so odd for me is the whole Donkey Island part. Again, I can't remember what it's called because I haven't seen it in a very long time. I should have read the plots before all this. But like, they get turned into donkeys, and I always remember one scene that I didn't like, which was the donkey's crying for his mum, I think. It's just always sat with me being like, that's gut-wrenching. Do you know what I mean? But like, it's got the whole Moby Dick thing with the massive whale and then the fairy and Jiminy Cricket as well. He's cool. But yeah, like I say, I don't have a lot of memories with Pinocchio, but I would much rather watch Pinocchio instead of Dumbo. So hopefully that's good enough justification to put Pinocchio here at number 4. Number 3 is Bambi. Now we're getting into the stuff that I do actually know, the films that I've seen most recently and more frequently to talk about. Bambi came out in 1942 on August 9 in London and August 21 in America. So that's all well and good. I'm sure Walt Disney attended both premieres, probably. This is a cute story about a deer just roaming around the forest, pretty much. And then we all know the infamous scene where his mum dies and whatnot. You're taught to remember as children that, we've all got like our top 5 saddest Disney film moments, right? One being Mufasa's death, obviously. If you've seen it, The Fox and the Hound, where she gives up Todd. Bambi's mum dying is often included in there, However, after watching it, like recently, in the last 5 years recently, Bambi's mum dying isn't as gut-wrenching as I remember it being. Probably because we don't actually see it. The film, I remember the scene where his mum dies. It is quite an eerie scene, which I think is why I liked it as a kid. I was always attracted to, darker stuff, hence why I was attracted to Ichabod Crane way back when. There's a scene where they're standing in the open fields, right, and Bambi's just happily eating away, and then his mum looks up and she's like, "Bambi?" And he's like, "Yeah." And she's like, "Go, run now." It's real sinister, it's real quick, and it's real scary. The music makes that scene. It's absolutely terrifying. It's the one thing that Disney films just don't do anymore is, captivate fear like that. Do you know what I mean? And Bambi gaps it, and his mum gaps it. You hear the gunshots, and then Bambi keeps gapping it. And then he turns around and he's like, "Mum, where are you?" But because I don't think we do anyway, we don't necessarily see Bambi's mum's corpse or body, and it's forgotten about real quick. Like, he does cry, I'm pretty sure, but he doesn't cry to the same extent of like Todd and Fox and the Hound or Simba in The Lion King. So it's kind of like it moves on really quick. His dad's there or whatever, if it's his dad, and then before you know it, Bambi's growing into an adult, and it's like, all right, sweet. But that scene in itself, yeah, creepy as fuck. Why else do we love Bambi? April Showers. That's a great little song where the rain's coming and the music encapsulates what's happening on screen. The big cymbals are going when the lightning crashes and whatnot, and the crows are flying over. in that yellow creepy scene. Oh, it's so good. It's honestly a simple film, but damn, it's beautiful to watch. So yeah, if you haven't watched Bambi in a few years, I would highly recommend you do that. So yeah, number 3 for me, Bambi. Really, really cool stuff. Number 2 is the OG. Number 2 is Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs from 1937. This one was released on December 21 by Cathay Circle Theatre, which is the most famous palace in all of Hollywood, so that's fun. And then it got released on February 4, 1938 in the rest of the country. So that's awesome. What's there to say about Snow White other than the fact that, yeah, it's the first full-length Disney film. You know, it used color, it used all sorts of stuff that wasn't really being used in films at that time. You know, this comes out before The Wizard of Oz, which again was captivating of being like, holy shit, black and white versus color. You know, we all know the story of Snow White. The young girl who's a slave to her, who's the queen? Are they related? I've just realized her stepmother, the queen. Yeah, I thought so. You know, and she's like, yo, who's prettier? Obviously, Snow White's prettier. She's like, well, I'm not having that. Go get rid of her. And then she gets chased off into the forest, which is a really freaky, creepy scene. Just like Bambi's mum's, you know, dying again. The music and the scene and the motions that she goes through is ridiculous. It's freaky, man. 1930s Disney was eerie. And then she finds the home of the Seven Dwarfs, and that's all well and good. And then they have their song, Hi Ho, with the dig, dig, dig. That's always great fun. And, you know, they're awesome. It's just a classic film. Do you know what I mean? Like, what a great way to start your mega billion dollar film production company with Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. The witch, when she turns into the evil old woman, you know, she's creepy and she feeds Snow White the apple. That's great. The art in it is awesome. The apple looks good. Just again, another crazy heroic death, thanks to she gets, what is it? She the rock gets stuck by lightning and the cliff falls apart and then she dies, and then Snow White dies, sort of. Well, yeah, she does die, doesn't she? She eats the apple, and then the prince comes along and kisses her, and everything is perfect, all well and good. Yeah, it's just one of those quick feel-good films. This one's 83 minutes, so yeah, again, standard film length, and it's just always good fun. So yeah, you can't go wrong with Snow White. It's honestly amazing. But for me, it's number 2. One beats it. Wonder which one that is. Number 1 for me is Fantasia. Yeah, you could have kind of predicted that, given the fact that I like music and, you know, that way of, that's my thing. So yeah, Fantasia came out also in 1940 on November 13, and this is 126 minutes long, so it's 2 hours, and I won't lie to you, it is not for everyone, okay? I only saw Fantasia, when did I see Fantasia for the first time? I think I saw it for the first time, like probably 10 years ago, you know, when I was really getting into symphonic metal, funnily enough, and then I was finding appreciation for classical music, just taking away the metal and whatnot, and I was like, oh, Disney, Fantasia, blah, blah, blah. So I was like, all right, cool, let's watch this film. And I was hooked, you know. It's a film that you can't really sit down and get invested in, like, for kids. Do you know what I mean? So like, for one thing, yeah, it's 2 hours long, and it's a film that tells stories through the art of pictures and music, through different ways of telling stories, is what the conductor goes on to talk about. He's like, there's 3 types of stories: the story where the music is written for the story, the story where music is later given to the story, you kind of thing. And it's just like, oh, okay, this first one is pictures given to music, which is Toccata and Fugue in D minor, one of the most famous classical music pieces ever. And that's just like pictures and motions on the screen that just move with the sound of the song. Really cool. And then you start watching like actual little clips attached to classical music, like the Nutcracker Suite is in the film, and there's a clip for it, you know, of little pieces, like little animals and stuff running around. It's really fun. The Sorcerer's Apprentice is also in this film, and that's where what I call the Fantasia Mickey comes from, you know, with the blue hat and the red gown and everything. Honestly, my second favorite Mickey, second to Steamboat Willie. I love that interpretation of Mickey. I think it's so cool. The Sorcerer's Apprentice is a great little clip to watch, and I could watch that standalone little 10-minute song section. I could watch it every day and not get bored. And then, you know, there's other bits and pieces and stuff, but then what the big one is the night on Bald Mountain is what ends Fantasia with it's just Satan. Again, the devil, he made an appearance in my life before I even knew what was going on. So the story of Night on Bald Mountain is on Walpurgis Night, the giant devil Chernabog awakens and summons evil spirits and restless souls from their graves to Bald Mountain. The spirits dance and fly through the air until driven back by the sound of an Angelus bell as night fades into dawn. A chorus is heard singing Ave Maria as a line of robed monks are depicted walking into the lighted torches through a forest and into the ruins of a cathedral. If that doesn't sound metal to you, then good God. So, yeah, it's a beautiful film, but like I say, it's not for everyone. There is also the scene of The Rite of Spring, which is about the evolution of the earth. It's like dinosaurs and whatnot. That's quite fun to watch. But yeah, honestly, The Sorcerer's Apprentice and Night on Bald Mountain are worth watching just by themselves to watch Fantasia. Honestly, I love it because it's classical music and it's history. I think it's amazing. So my favorite film from Disney's golden era is Fantasia. Awesome as team, thanks for hanging out with me while we sit here and discuss something that's not heavy metal related, but Disney related. Thank you for hanging out with me while I sit here and get increasingly more passionate about golden era Disney films. Like I said at the start, let me know down below what your favorite golden era film is out of the ones we've just talked about. Is it Fantasia? Is it Snow White? Is it Pinocchio? Tell me why. I want to know. So yeah, like I said at the start, I'm going to do some more eras of Disney. I haven't seen every single Disney film, so I might skip a few, but yeah, keep an eye out for those. I'm excited to do this. Let's see if the audience likes it. So yeah, who knows? But hey, until the next one happens, everybody, stay inside, stay safe, go watch Fantasia, and I'll see you all in the next video. See you later.